Concept in motherhood that I've been thinking about and talking about so often lately is not feeling guilty about being a different version of a mom, like throughout your motherhood journey with maybe your subsequent children, whatever. For context, I have 4 girls and they're all close in age, but I basically have 2 sets a year and a half apart. So I have 2 that are a year and a half apart, a 2-year gap, and then another set of 2, all girls. And sometimes I think back to the days with my big 2, just when they were like little toddlers, and I would read like hours a day of picture books, and we would do a lot of art projects, and we wouldn't leave the house that often. It was very like slow paced, and I was reading a lot of parenting books at the time, and it was just a different version of me. And now sometimes I'll look back and be like, oh, well, I don't do XYZ for the little 2 now like I used to. But then you have to think about all the things that your younger child or your younger children or whatever did not get to experience, and how there are trade-offs to all of those things. So my first 2 might have had more undivided attention, and more of my like thought process was just sitting about like, what toy rotation can I do? What like enriching sensory activity can we do? What books can I read aloud? But my younger ones have a bigger family dynamic and more people that love them. They have overall more stimulation in the home. They have more people talking to them, more vocabulary around them because we're conversing all of the time. Not to mention the fact that finances are more stable now, and they have a mom who is a little bit older, and I have definitely matured. I have more experience. I love the quote that is, your older child gets your undivided attention and your younger child gets your experience, because for every one thing that one child didn't get and the other does, there are pros and cons, and it's not necessarily like better or worse. Or even now, my youngest is 2.5 and my oldest is almost 8. I spend more time on myself now. I'm into fitness, I have hobbies, I go on dates, and those are things that I didn't do with my older kids. So while my older ones had more of that one-on-one attention for me, and parenting was basically the only thing I cared about, the only thing on my mind, it was very all-consuming in their early years for me. My younger kids get a version of me that is more well-rounded, and my older ones get to benefit from that too. So I think it's entirely unhelpful to think back at things that you're like, oh, well, I used to do this, I used to do this. There are things that you probably are doing now that your kids benefit from that you didn't do at that time too. So I think it's helpful just to look back and say, okay, maybe I miss having more read aloud time that I did with my older kids. I can implement that. But you can't go back and give your older kids the experience that you have now with your younger kids and stuff. So anyway, it's just an entirely unhelpful way that we bully ourselves as moms. And I think that we would all benefit from just saying like, it's cool that there's different versions of me. It's cool that my kids get to watch me evolve, and I don't have to be the same forever.